Hello everyone! Welcome back to another 2v2 battle. For this one, the funds were raised a bit, and also large armies were checked by the creator of this room. So there are a lot of greenskins over there, but before we get to there, my army is Bretonnians, my ally is the dwarves over here. For the infantry, we have 3 spears, 3 men-at-arms, 2 bows, King Lewin on the flying hippogriff. We also have a paladin on the hippogriff, and of course the damsel is right over there. She's actually not mounted for this one. Back here we have 2 Grail Knights, we have 3 Knights of the Realm, then over here 2 Pegasus Knights, and then 2 Mounted Yeomen. For the Dwarf player, we have 3 Organ Gunners, Hungrim, Iron Fist. We have a Thane. I don't know if they have a Runesmith, actually. I don't think they do. We have one group of Longbeards with great weapons over there, then all of these are Longbeards, all of these are Thunderers, then off to the side we have some Gyrocopters. For the greenskin player, there's something like 14 or 15 Orc Archers and about the same amount of Orc Boys. They're being led by Grimgor over here. For the Chaos player, we have a Hell Cannon, a Dragon Ogre Shaggoth. Most of these are all varied types of Chosen between Great Weapons and Normal. And then we have a couple Forsaken here at the end, and they are being led by Prince Sigvald the Magnificent. So, seeing this army, you can already see my Pegasus Knights are on their way to try and deal with this flank. They have no cav, really, and I have a lot of cav. And when I started this, I decided to do it into 2 steps, because when I have a bunch of cav, as I do here, I usually just kind of throw them in wherever I see a opening, and then I tend to forget about them, and they will eventually die. So, I wanted to carefully micromanage the Pegasus Knights and the Mounted Yeomen especially, so that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm focusing on about half of my army right now, and I'm going to be bringing in my Knights at the very end, when my Pegasus Knights are going to be kind of tired and, well, basically at the end of the fight. So you're not going to be seeing these units moving that much, because that's one of my weakest points. Especially when playing as Bretonnia, their best units are going to be their mounted units. But when you have so many, or when I do, I lose track of them all. I send them in, I forget about them as I'm micromanaging other things, and then they just die because they're not heavily utilized. Because you got to cycle charge them out, man. You got to cycle charge these Knights out all the time to maximize their effectiveness. So again, they're not going to be in the first part of this battle, but my Pegasus Knights are. And I'm just going to charge this flank of Orc Archers, because why not? My Mounted Yeomen are going to be coming in as well, and I'm going to want to deal with that Hell Cannon. This group, man, out of all of the times, I don't really ever see a Dwarf player bring so many organ guns. They usually bring cannons, heavy cannons. This is so, I'm just going to say, unlucky for these players, man. So unlucky that this player decided to bring so many organ guns. That is going to do quite a lot of damage, needless to say. But I definitely appreciate just the massive greenskin tide. Unfortunately, they don't really have any cav or anti-cav units to cover them. The best thing they have, I guess, would be this Dragon Ogre Shaggoth, who is now going to try and catch my Mounted Yeoman, but we are not going to allow ourselves to get caught. So right here, you can see we route these units, but they will come back. The organ guns are just having a field day. Exalted Hero is running out ahead of the entire army. But just look at this horde, man. So again, large armies was checked, which means you can have, I think, 40 units in your army if you can find enough money to field that many, which is why this player just picks so many boys. And it looks awesome. It's just this giant green tide just marching across the field. This Exalted Hero is now getting focused down by some organ guns. My infantry has no reason to really move. I'm just going to be back here dealing with the Hell Cannon, which you can see right there. And I'm also going to try and make sure that we do not get murdered by the Dragon Ogre Shaggoth. My Paladin comes over here to stop him, hold him in position so that my Yeoman can deal some damage. Again, the Dragon Ogre Shaggoths are very offensively, a very offensive unit, but defensively they do still have a decent melee defense, but their armor is really low. So peasant bows, crossbows, any type of real ranged unit can do a lot of damage. So I'm just going to keep my Paladin here because he does have a potion, so he can heal through some of this damage, and the King is also nearby. So they're dealing with the Dragon Ogre Shaggoth. Pegasus Knight's dealing with that Hell Cannon, and we're still just dealing with some more Orc Archers over here as the green tide continues to march across the field. This poor Exalted Hero was kind of thrown ahead of everybody else, which is not great. But right now, these organ guns are kind of silenced just because the Longbeards are moving through them and they have no line of sight because of it, which is not the best for the dwarf player, but what are they going to do? Leave the organ guns out in the front? You can see my line just kind of waiting. Right there, the damsel is casting a AoE spell. Even when it hits a bunch of them, like, it still doesn't do that much. I just think it looks cool. Meanwhile, back over here, we have dealt some damage to the Dragon Ogre Shaggoth. We are cleaning up some more Orc Archers. The Hell Cannon is now gone, freeing up that Pegasus Knight. And now we are about to receive the Orc Charge. The Spearmen deny their charge bonus, which is a pain for the Orc player because their Orcs always have a high charge bonus. You can see this Ungrim Iron Fist just taking a bunch of fire from all of these Orc Archers. They are all kind of done in a semicircle to try and murder Ungrim. That may be kind of a waste. Like, you should probably be killing these Organ Gunner crews or like the Thunderers or something. But you can see there's just a massive fight going on here that the Dwarf player is dealing with. I am still dealing with the Orc Archers out here. Through some Pegasus Knights over here. My Knights are going to be thrown in soon-ish. But again, I just didn't want to have to micromanage them quite yet. Although, honestly, they would really help out a lot right here. Oh, there's the Runesmith. They did have Runesmith. Okay. They got so many boys! And these Gyrocopters have Brimstone guns, which are not going to do as great, but still, they will deal damage. So you can see the boys now into these Thunderers, who have not really responded to their move. These Orc boys, though, just kind of piled in, and I can understand why. Because, I mean, look how many units this greenskin player has to micromanage. They clearly micromanage these Orc boys to doing a really good flank on the Dwarf player. Here, I think they just kind of bunched up and then right-clicked an attack order, which, again, you know what, is understandable. If you're in the situation where you have so many units, what you want to do is break your army into groups. So what I would do is, for these 4 Orc boys, or 5, or however many you want to put, just put them all in a group, Control G, and then lock their formation. And when you do that, you can right-click on an enemy unit, say like the middle of my Spearman group, and as long as they're in a locked group formation, then the units kind of go on a... I'm not going to say like the AI takes over, but kind of does. It assigns each unit like a different enemy unit in that area, and they don't just all collapse in on one unit. They will spread out to any unit in the area of your right-click order. That way you can control a very massive army a little bit easier. So if you see yourself up in this position, do that, because then these Orc boys most likely would have spread out over here and more over here, and then they would have probably got an entire wrap around my front of my spear line. You can see I'm pulling back my Orc bows. My Peasant bows are being pulled back a little bit, and my Man-at-Arms now going to be reinforcing. And again, I think my Knights move in soon-ish. The King is now done with his fight with the Dragon Ogre Shaggoth, which is why he has taken so much damage. I believe the Shaggoth was killed or routed. I think maybe we actually killed him at this point. Pegasus Knight still doing some damage to the Orc bows. My Paladin is now over here. I think he's on his way to this Orc Arrow Boy. And my Mounted Yeoman, the thing is, like, there's a ton of archers here. So they're, like, we could try and do little hit and runs, which is what I'm going to try and do with my micromanaging skills that I have, which is not that much. But it's very hard for Mounted Yeoman to deal a lot of damage to these Orc archers, because if they focus on them for, like, a second, then all those Mounted Yeomen are dead. Meanwhile, the Dwarven Longbeard line is holding up pretty well, considering they're fighting a bunch of Chosen. There goes the Curse of the Wind from our Damsel to try and assist them. These Thunderers are kind of having an okay day, because Orc boys are not super strong, so the Thunderers are actually defensive enough to withstand them. But not these Chosen, though. Not the Chosen. My Man-at-Arms holding off a group over here. My Spear line has routed this group of Orc boys, along with the King. But these Chosen, again, are going to be some problems. I really thought I threw my Cav in it by now. I guess not. Anyway, looks like our allies' Lord has fallen over here. Ungrim was just kept over here on the side and was hounded by these Chaos Warriors, Prince Sigvald, and the Grimgor. Jeez, I'm getting my names confused here. And now they're getting into the Thunderer line. Meanwhile, the Longbeards are still trying to hold as best they can, and I am just doing what I can to wreck the archers back here. Again, I thought they move in at some point. I start to pull them in this battle. I thought I did by now. Dwarf players looking like they're having a bad day. Since Ungrim died, the Thunderer line is just kind of getting crushed here. They're not really responding at all. The Organ Guns had a very nice opening, crushing the Orc infantry on the way in, but you can see they have not really fired at all since, because there are Longbeards in front of them, and these are not really like an arcing unit. So It was a good position initially with the organ guns in front of the army, but unfortunately here they are kind of wasted, and so the Longbeards are now really not supported by anything because the Thunderers are not firing. Because, like, really, I don't know what this player is really doing. They put gyrocopters on this group of orc boys. They never moved Ungrim Iron Fist, so he just kind of got isolated and murdered. And then these Thunderers who have been, pressure's been put upon them for a while now, they're not pulling back. Like, in this situation, you should be pulling back and getting fields of fire on these Chosen who are trying to kill your friends, which is at least what I would do. Because these two are not threatened, nor have they been for the entire battle, so just pull them back, and then just fire at those Chosen as you leave one group behind to be basically the sacrifice. Damsel in the fight. I don't think I meant for that to happen, but she just kind of got pulled in. Where is my calf? I swear I moved them by now. Anyway, the Exalted Hero and Sigvald is back in here with my man-at-arms. King Lewin is still just kind of doing what he can. Yeomen are back here with the other Pegasus Knights dealing with these Orc Archers. I swear at some point I moved my calf. I thought it did by now. Anyway, my spearmen are mostly dead. My men-at-arms are now dying. Here we go. Paladin and the King now are going to be attacking an isolated Prince Sigvald, so they are going to be able to murder him pretty quickly. Chosen are coming in to try and reinforce, but it's a little too late for Prince Sigvald. Over here, the Longbeards, some of them are still holding. Hey, these organ guns are actually firing. That's pretty cool. There we go. Sigvald is now dead. And we are getting out of there before the Chosen surround the King and murder him. But we got some nice shots with these organ guns now, firing into these Chosen, which is pretty good. Man, I really did not bring my cabin for a while. Mounted Yeomen have now used up most of their ammunition picking off these Orc Archers. My Pegasus Knights are now almost dead, I think both of them. Just because of all the damage they've taken throughout this battle, getting shot at by all of those Orc Archers. Yeah, this group is almost dead, and this group is almost dead as well. Here we go. Finally, I decided to pull out my Knights. You can see the situation is looking kind of grim. A little grim, so we're throwing our Grail Knights over here, getting our Knights of the Realm all over the place. More Grail Knights into these Chosen.
Get those commoners shooting their filthy bows.
Doing what we can. And I believe I sent some of my Knights of the Realm to go and charge this group of Greenskins. You can see we have routed this group of Greenskins with a Grail Knight charge, which is to be expected. And without the leadership of Prince Sigvald, these Chosen are actually starting to break. They took a lot of damage from the Grail Knights and the King and the Paladins, and we're doing some more charges here and there. Getting more charges into the routing Chaos Chosen. And then there goes some of the Knights of the Realm into this group of Orc boys. Grimgor, I think, is he dead at this point? Maybe he died. I'm looking at the minimap too. Yeah, I guess he died over here with Prince Sigvald. I think I missed that part. Oh well. So you can see when I finally pull the Knights in, we start to do massive routes. We just still have some Chosen that are hanging by. But luckily the Dwarf line of Longbeards held out long enough for me to finally pull my Knights out. Man, I did not realize I waited so long. But with the support of my Knights, we're finally starting to turn the tide of the battle. I think what happened here is that I fully intended to not use them until the later of the battle, but the thing is I was so focused, like overly focused into killing these archers with just my Pegasus Knights and my Yeomen that I guess I didn't pull them out as quick as I thought I did. That was my mistake. I should have pulled them out a lot sooner to crush the line of Orcs and Chosen that were right here. I got a little too focused on those Orc Archers. And you can see we're chasing them down. Pegasus Knights still in the fight, rocking it. Our Mounted Yeomen have actually used all their ammunition, which is pretty crazy. And really there's not many enemies left beside this group of Chosen. We should be charging them soon.
Attack!
There we go.
Get those commoners shooting their filthy foes!
King has regenerated through most of the damage that he has taken because he is the king and is amazing. And yeah, without the leadership of... I'm not sure where Grimgor died. Maybe he died over here. We'll watch again in the cinematic view. Maybe we'll see him die. But without the leadership, the Chosen are going to fall. The Orc Boys, of course, are going to fall. They have pretty low leadership to begin with. But that was a pretty cool battle where I made the mistake of not slamming into the back of this giant line of infantry earlier. I should have done that. But hey, it was still a victory. And the honorable Knights of Chivalry of Bretonia managed to come out relatively unscathed. As honestly, I think real knights would. Would they help the dwarves, or would they just kind of sit back, let the dwarves die, and then come in to claim the glory? They would probably just wait to claim the glory, right? Anyway, good game to my opponents and to my ally. Let's take a look at the kill counts. Just look at all the boys. Now, because I was in the back microing the Pegasus Knights Yeoman and the Paladin to disrupt these orcs, archers, they didn't get to do much. Now, I could have killed them a lot quicker had I thrown my Knights of the Realm in there sooner. But again, I was worried about just too many Knights to micromanage at the same time. And because of that, they didn't really get many kills. The Orc Boys, you know what? I mean, they killed a lot. They just killed so many. There are just so many orcs. I love it. Maybe I would have put a little unit variety in this army. Maybe threw some biggins in there. Maybe a black orc or two since you're fighting against the dwarves. But still, I just like this. This player was like, you know what? I got a lot of money. I have a lot of unit slots. I'm just going to go all boys. And I'm like, okay, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate this build. For the Chaos player here, Sigvald 33 kills, got isolated there by my King and Paladin and murdered. The Exalted Hero got shot up by organ guns. The Chaos Chosen, for the most part, did really well, though. As to be expected, they did really good. They would have done a little bit less had I charged them earlier, but details. We did manage to shut down the Hell Cannon really soon, and the Dragon Ogre Shaggoth, which is a pretty huge victory there. For me, 78 kills on the King is amazing. The Paladin, 47 kills because they were killing all the Orc Archers. The Spears held the line for a while. The Men-at-Arms held the line for a while, but they didn't really get to do too much. The Peasant Bows, though, man, they shined. They just killed so many Orcs. So many Orcs. The Knights of the Realm at the end there cleaned up along with the Grail Knights. They still got a high amount of kills considering I threw them in so late. And then the Mounted Yeoman got a impressive amount of kills for Mounted Yeoman. And the Pegasus Knights, of course, just racked up the kills with all those Orc Archers. It was like a field day for them. For my Dwarf ally here, Longbeards held the line really well against so many boys in Chaos Chosen. I was honestly kind of surprised. Organ Guns were kind of shut down for a little while. They did get some kills there at the end. The Thunderers... These Thunderers, I think most of these kills are actually in melee, I would guess, against the Orc Boys and the Chosen, because I didn't really see them fire that much. Longbeards, very impressive kills there. Ungrim Ironfist, man, he was just kind of left out there on the flank and got murdered by Grimgor and Prince Sigvald, so he did not get to shine. The Runesmith did a little bit better. And the Gyrocopters actually did pretty good with their Brimstone guns. They did pretty good. So yeah, let's watch that again in a more cinematic view. These poor Orc Archers, man. They're going to be hounded the entire battle.
From the side.
So yeah, not much in the way of tactics for this battle. It was pretty simple. Just hound the archers, and that's about it. But yeah, I definitely should have thrown in my knights a lot earlier to crush the infantry line. I was just so worried about getting them killed because I would forget about them. But if I was to offer advice, I would say throw your knights in there anyway. Don't do what I do. Just do what I say. I don't know. Anyway, there goes the Shaggoth. This is something that you probably shouldn't do. Don't try to outrun Mounted Yeoman as a Shaggoth. Like, it's pretty fast, but it's not Yeoman fast. Go after the... Well, Pegasus Knights can just fly. Just don't go after the Mounted Yeoman.
My soul is aflame.
Man, that Exalted Hero. All of those organ guns just focus on him. Look at the healthy. Oh, actually, he didn't even take that much damage though. And then he stands defiantly, like, yeah, shoot me. That's pretty good. Maybe you should have charged their lines there, buddy. They get shot by the Thunderers. Is that what's going on there? And there's the green tide. Oh man, look at old Ungram. This took so much arrow fire, man. It looks like he's trying to walk away too. Oh, there's Grimgore. But yeah, so many orc boys died to my archers right here, man. Oh, you poor orcs.
They're coming in the flank.
And that exalted hero, man, still alive. I kind of want to follow Grimgore and see how he ended up dying. Are these Thunders going to shoot him? He's still relatively healthy. Alright, so now he's chasing a runesmith. And I believe right now we just killed Prince Sigvald. Oh wait, he's dead over. What happened? Oh, he chased the runesmith way out here, and then these two thunderers, I guess, probably focus fired him down. He was on his way back, and then just took so much damage. Okay, that's what happened to Grimgor. All right, that makes sense. Two groups of thunderers firing at you. Yeah, sure, that makes sense now.
The lady demands blood!
The Bretonian Knights finally mobilizing. A little late to the party. And still some Thunderers just holding the line, man. They do not believe in running even when Unkrum is dead. Trying to see if there's any other charges. Not really. Oh man, those point blank shots. Just killing orcs out here. They still had a lot of units, but the loss of the leader. Actually, what does break them? Their morale's still pretty high. Let's see. Attacked in the rear, Lord dead, -10, under fire, very tired, exposed flanks. Okay, enemy routing though. Okay. Because they just kind of break. Maybe want to just charge them. Yeah, you know, getting charged and sent flying, 40, 50 feet, that would probably make me route too. And there you go. Thanks for watching, everybody. I just wanted to show this because I've never seen so many orc units on the screen before. That was the main reason. I just wanted to show this one off because I appreciated it. I may have to do it myself. Just get a battle going with large army size and a lot of units, and then just, again, I probably would vary it a little bit. Oh my god, could you imagine all Gabos? And how bad that would be? Like, one charge from any night group would just rout your entire army. Yeah, that'd be pretty bad. Anyway, thanks again for watching, everybody. I hope you have a good day. Take care.